Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jenny. I truly appreciate you for clicking on this video and watching. So I'm here today to share a flip through of this squishy, chunky little journal. This was so much fun to make. This is just one of those, oh my goodness, like just grab and curl up on the couch with a hot cup of coffee and just glue some photos down or write some thoughts or prayers in or whatever you want to do. But anyways, I had a lot of fun making this one. This one has actually sold, but I wanted to let y'all know that I just decided I'm going to make over the next couple of days 2 minis that will, have this same style-ish, with the mushrooms and the fun cuteness and the fun trims. And anyways, I'm gonna do 2 minis like this, similar to this. If you're interested, obviously the minis are a little bit less than this one, so I guess that's a good thing, because I feel like some of you, or I think we all think, oh, it's just such a short season, Christmas is coming up and all that. But I got to thinking the other day, like, man, like I should make myself a fall journal, because actually I feel like the fall season kind of lasts longer than any of them. Like it's, you can use it September, October, and November. And then obviously Christmas is just December, but I'm with y'all. I think the same. I'm like, oh, well, I want to wait and buy a cute Christmas journal, But anyways, so just in case that's your way of thinking and you're like, I just don't want to buy a big fancy journal, I am going to make 2 minis. But this one is still available too. This one is very similar to this one. I went back and added this trim. So I will link the flip through of this one in the description box below, but it did not have this trim on it originally. I just added this on here last night because those of you who watch me on Instagram, everyone was loving this trim. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to add it to this one because they definitely have the same fabrics and stuff. So I thought maybe someone will grab this one up. This one is a more faith-based though. It just has a little bit of scripture in it here and there. Just most of it's on the ephemera, but there are, but there's a few, like, well, maybe a couple pages with it stamped on there, but I was advertising it as a more faith-based, like, see, there's a little sticker there that says a Bible verse. But anyways, this one is available still as at the time that I'm posting this video. And I realize that a lot of you don't get on Instagram, and I mean, that's perfectly fine. I don't get on Facebook all that much right now, but so I'm saying that to say I get that. But if you can, and if you do have an Instagram, if you'll follow me over there, I tend to post things usually sooner than I do over here when I'm working on things, and that's when people snatch them up a lot of times. But that's not always the case, so make sure you send me an email or Instagram if you're ever interested in anything, because I do make custom orders. If you see something you're like, oh my goodness, I would love something similar. I mean, obviously sometimes I may just not can if it's, a lot of vintage things or stuff like that. But if I can, I'm always happy to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna get, excuse me, I'm gonna get into this flip through. So this started off as one of the felt-based covers, one of my just patchwork covers that y'all all have been loving from me this year. And it does have a hidden binding on the spine. So meaning you're not seeing the stitches on the outside, you just see all of these trims and fabrics. I do want to show y'all really quick. I had started this journal. This is a soft cover, felt cover. But this is actually a large, this is one of my really large cottage style journals. And I got in this little frame because I thought it would be cute there. But then I thought, well, this could be the front. And just add a little frame and put something cute behind it there. Anyways, I'm showing y'all this to say, I don't think I'm going to make, or I mean, unless one of you are like, I have to have that, please make that for me. I don't think I'm going to make this into a fall journal. So if you are interested in purchasing this cover, I'll just let me know and kind of, you know, let me know where you would like this, or if you just want me to leave it alone. You can add to it, cover up, whatever, I don't care. But anyways, if you want to purchase this, I'll go ahead and stitch the front and back to the spine, and then you can fill up, I'll send you like a kit with it, so you can just finish making it yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Whether you want to keep it for yourself, sell it, I don't care. But I had created that thinking, oh, I'm gonna do, you know, this many fall journals, and then I changed my mind. So I'm willing to sell that just as a cover, and I'll put some inside fabric in there too, if you're interested. So now, a million minutes later, I'm going to get into this flip through. There are a mix of vintage and modern fabrics on here. A lot of the fabrics and trims, my friend Lynette at Cheaply Chic, she had sent me over the years. I think this was several years ago. And this gold vintage pom-pom trim. But y'all, I don't know if she has shared them yet, but I'm telling you what, you want some cute mushroom journals? Oh my goodness, coming really soon from her is a collection of just the most beautiful mushroom journals I have ever seen. Like y'all, if you love this, you are going to love that. And I'm telling you that because she's using a lot of these trims and stuff too. So as we were texting and stuff, I kind of stole, you know, I started adding a few things. I was like, oh, I didn't think about that, you know. But she's fine with that. I wasn't trying to just take over her. I can't steal her thunder anyway. If you watch her, you know I'm not going to steal her thunder. But this was heavily inspired by Lynette. And then this little playing card I had gotten in some Happy Mail from Kim. And I do have a couple more of these, so I may put those on the covers of the minis. And then I use this sunflower fabric on the inside of this cover. And then on the front, I put this leather pocket. And then on the back, this adorable butterfly fabric pocket. And so inside this pocket, I thought this fabric was so pretty, and I feel like this was like kitchen napkins, and I only had a couple of them. I had gotten these at an estate sale last year, and I just thought I'm gonna make a tiny little book. So I just backed it with some paper bag and put some coffee dyed papers in here and left it blank for you to finish decorating. Then I just made a little paper clip with this leaf. Again, these things are so Lynette. Like she's doing all the cute mushroom clips and all that. That was absolutely copying her. She actually sent me this little mushroom last year, and I can't find the other one, so I'm gonna have to get some more mushrooms to make some more of these. But this is I think this is an antique trim that I've gotten, that I had got in a estate sale over the past couple years, but it was so old. It's like a tatting, I think you call that. So I used that a little bit throughout here. This ribbon right here is so cute. It's from Dollar Tree this year, and y'all, like, how cute is this little mushroom trim? Oh, should have got more than one roll, but I didn't. Just a little fabric tag. This was from just a vintage flower book. And this is a pocket here. I had created these little floating circle pockets. These were inspired by Paper Terrace a few weeks ago, and she made some little bird's nests, but I thought I would put some butterflies on some of them. Stuck some little flowers in there, and then I turned it into a pocket. So I called it a floating pocket, but it's actually not. It's stuck down there. Stenciled some butterflies here. I've used printables in here from, these were gifted to me, so if I get it wrong, Arlene, you just comment below, because I know you'll say, you got that so wrong. But I feel like a lot of these are from Cassie, Dust to Roses, and then I know that some of them are from Raindrop Lila. But I don't use printables a whole lot, and then when I do, I'm like, man, why don't I use these more? Because, I don't know, it just makes your job so much easier. You don't have to think as deeply. They used to challenge me, but now, see, it just adds the perfect touch in here. This is one of Raindrop Lila's like photos, and just of a little butterfly, and it says a tiny detail, and I just layered some lace up behind that, and then put some of this fun Lynette plaid trim. And this was a hand-dyed trim. I had dyed orange, and then I just topped it off with a little blingy pumpkin. And listen to this, y'all. Is that not heavenly? Leave me a comment below. Does that cringe you, or do you love all the sounds in journals? But love that. So this is just, I had dyed, when I dyed several things orange, I dyed this onion skin paper. And I just love how crinkly it makes onion skin paper or tracing paper when you dye it. This is some velvet trim, and I just put some of that mushroom trim over it, and then avocado dyed doily. That turkey's so cute. It's from a vintage children's book, Chicken Little. Here's a vintage little kids book. Wait, what? Little music book, kids music book. Little Cabin in the Wood. Old MacDonald Had a Farm. See, all you ladies, all us ladies that are collecting all the MacDonald stuff, see, you could just journal about your MacDonald stuff in here. Just some leaves. I love all the fun leaves and things poking out of the side. I remember many years ago when I first started making journals, Pam Van E, she had made a fall, it was either fall or fairy journal, I can't remember, it may have been a fairy journal in the fall time, but she would just put all these things just poking out the leaves, and I just loved it. So I've never forgotten. I always think about her when I add fun little, see how cute that is just sticking out. Here's some little circle tags I made a book page. And a little pocket here. Here's another little photo printable from Raindrop Lila. It says Life's Moments. It's just a little path in the woods with the sun peeking through the trees, and I put an acetate little die cut, I guess you would call it, over the top of that. And here's a beautiful little bead. I think all the beads on here, Lynette had sent me in some Happy Mail last fall. You have to have some food in a fall journal, right? And here's another, this one's coffee dyed tracing paper. Vintage Kids little golden book page. They look like they're all bundled up, ready for spring, fall, winter, something, but it's not summer, that's for sure, in that photo. But I love these colors in here. This is just so cute. I mean, this just makes it all cottagey with these little teacups and saucers and cake. Oh my goodness. Recipe. And just did some stamping throughout. Here's another printable as a tuck spot. And I had gotten this. This was actually a piece of felt from Hobby Lobby. And I just thought these mushrooms were so cute. So I just turned this into a large journaling tag. This came from a vintage wallpaper book. And I did use some of this. There was only one sheet of this, but I've cut it up and used it throughout this. I made a tiny little journal with some more pieces of the wallpaper and just put some fun little things in the pockets. Oh, I also backed it with that. I love that wallpaper, y'all. Beautiful red trim. This fabric was from Dollar Tree last year or the year before, but oh my goodness, I've about used this up. I need to go see if they have any more this year, but I love this so much. So I just made a pocket here. And this was some really pretty trim I got in some Happy Mail a few weeks ago. I think this was from Kim. It may have been from Lisa. Y'all, I'm horrible. I film Happy Mail unboxes, but then, wait, what? Happy Mail unboxings? Does that sound right? You know, it's the end of the day and you're like, I can't even talk anymore. I have filmed several Happy Mail unboxings. I still don't think that sounds right. But anyways, I'm about to film another one, but I end up forgetting to go back. I think that I posted it and I didn't, you know, it's that kind of thing. I uploaded it, but I didn't make public. So I feel like I still have not made this one public, and I need to do that. So here's another pocket, excuse me, made out of this. Again, I love this wallpaper. So I just made a large pocket there. You gotta have a little bit of pumpkins, right? This fun vintage pom-pom trim. This was a really big tablecloth I got at an estate sale this summer. And y'all, to be honest, I'm so mad that I cut this up because it was huge and I think it would have fit over my whole table. And I ended up cutting it up. And I really haven't used it much more than in this journal. And I've cut out a couple more pieces to send with, you know, when you buy the journals. But now I'm like, why didn't I just use something else and keep this and use it this year for the table? But anyways, it's so pretty. So here it is. I don't know. I don't think that they're buckeyes because they look like they're growing off a little bush. And I know when I see all the home decor videos for fall this year, for like Hobby Lobby, I see people buying these stems. So I'm just curious what these are called. They're super popular right now, you know, with the home decor, but I'm thinking a buckeye would be like from a tree, right? I don't know. Isn't that a form of nut? I don't know. Okay, so Misty, if you're watching, I feel like you're from Ohio, or I know you went to the ball game the other day. I feel like maybe you can tell me that. Maybe I need to ask you that. So here's some of the fun confetti tape I made. And on this one, this is a leaf from around here, but on this one I had hand painted some die cuts that were like bright, you know, like green and orange and just really bright colors. And so I just painted them with like deeper fall colors. So anyways, I just topped that with that. There's a bag. This little floating time card pocket. That's a napkin decoupaged over that. It just says beautiful. All the little deer and acorns and leaves. I didn't love the back side of this, so I just covered it with coffee dye paper and put a little sticker down and just layered up some fabrics. Here's a little mushroom charm. So this is an envelope Lynette sent me last year in some my fall happy mail. We tend to do big swap. Well, we do swaps all the time, but we definitely in the fall time send each other stuff. So, but I just added this little die cut and put some fun things down in here. Vintage pillowcase, like the edge of the top of the pillowcase, and some more of that super old trim. And I just stitched some of these little mushroom notepads, papers together at the top with a piece of fabric. And I just glued a little leaf. I think that's an oak leaf, I'm not sure. I glued it to that paper clip. I backed these tags with that dyed tracing paper. Vintage Ideals book page. Beautiful, beautiful tree. All of our trees are starting to, not all of them, but a lot of our trees are starting to turn here. So I'm curious if they are where you are. I had made these last year, just some fun little altered fall guest checks. Use this cute little trim from last year from the Dollar Tree with the little coffee mugs and the little fox. So cute. Just put a little envelope here with a little squirrel stamp and put some fun things down in there. Just put a little cluster of things here. And here's my little Lynette inspired mushroom clip. I made a few of these. I shared in the other flip through of this journal, but I just stamped on the other side of, wait, what? So, it's kind of self-explanatory, y'all. It's just a large index card, and I stamped here, and then I used some glittery tulle to create a pocket in the back, and I just put some fun little washi sticker strips and things down in there. Wait, I feel like that's going to bump into that leaf. A little pocket here. Teeny tiny tags with little leaves. I love doing teeny tiny little tags. This is some washi sticker strips, or a washi sticker strip. So it'll just, I mean, obviously she can use it like this or she can peel it off. And I do just want to say that to Miss Susan who bought this, I really, really appreciate you. I have a couple of customers named Sue or Susan, but I appreciate you both very much. You've just encouraged me so much lately, and I appreciate it. So here's some dyed lace. These dyes were super bold because I had used RIT dye. Wait, no, I say that every time. It may be by RIT. You know, it's the dye like that comes with tie-dye t-shirt packs. And it just absorbs, like, I don't care what it is you throw in there, it's going to turn into the color you want it. So I love how bold those colors turned out. This is from a vintage Miss Susie. Oh, Miss Susie book. And Susie bought, that's precious. Look at that. See? She was supposed to have this from the moment I started making it. That is just amazing to me, and I love that. So there's some little mushroom washi. Another stamp, and here's some of that when I got all artsy fartsy with this whole let me color these leaves, and some of them stuck down to the paper. So I just tore out around it, and just that's where I brushed my paint off the paintbrush. So anyways, this is my version of getting artsy. Just turn them into little tags. Vintage playing card. Beautiful, beautiful leaves on the ground. Here's another tag made out of that wallpaper. I feel like that looks like William Morris wallpaper. I don't think it was a William Morris book, but it definitely resembles it. And then this was from Lynette a few weeks ago in some Happy Mail. She had embossed some flashcards for me. Tuck spot out of this vintage playing card, and I just put another little piece of ephemera Lynette had gifted me in something. Because, did he buy a pony? Did he buy a pony? Because, or is this a, maybe this is recreate. I don't know if she made this look older, if it actually, I feel like it's legit. I don't know. 1907. Sold to Mr. Fred Smith. Wait, this is what he bought, but I can't read what that is. for $5.50. I don't know. Y'all are probably laughing because that probably means something like financially. I don't know. I'm just going to move on. So this, another gift from Lynette at some point in time. But it was one of those vintage Post-it notes. Love these. So I just cut it up and, you know, just split it apart and turned it into a little belly band slash pocket. And made that little fabric mushroom tag. There's some more of my artsy fartsy leaves. Another vintage playing card and some little note cards. And then in the back pocket is another vintage playing card with a little tag with stamped mushrooms. Y'all, just being honest, I don't have a whole lot of mushroom ephemera. I say this to tell you, don't think you have to run out and buy all the things to make a pretty journal. I wanted to, and I thought about it, but I'm going on vacation in another week, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to use what I have. Now, I will say that I was on the design team for Cheaply Chic for many years, so like I had little, at least 2 if not 3 little fall kits, you know, either of leftover stuff or stuff I hadn't used yet, so I was able to pull little bits from those, but for the most part I'm running out of like my mushroom stickers, or I mean I have enough to do those mini journals, but I just don't have a whole ton of that kind of stuff. But I was determined to challenge myself and use what I had, and I promise it's plenty. Like, do you think I needed to add anything more in here? Do you think, no, that's perfect, that's beautiful? So I say that to encourage you to use what you have. If you know, if you can't go and just buy if you can go, hey, go. Because, I mean, I don't blame you, girl. I'd be running and buying all the things if I could just go do that. But anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon in the next one. Talk to y'all later. Bye.